You know, I'm surprised that I'm not the one that got shot.
I don't know why, but my brain went blank.
Hello, everyone!
Welcome to the Taboo Tater Tot Club podcast, where we don't do more than one take.
Oh, no, not at all. Where we talk about anything that interests us, whether it be politics, fucking racism, and steroid use.
Steroids right into my cock vein.
That's the only vein to put steroids in.
Things look new.
Things are new. Okay, I'm sorry, Jesus.
But what?
I was just trying to add on to your statement there.
Okay, and?
You looked like you wanted to kill me.
No, I want to kill myself.
Well, same.
Okay. This definitely is not take two. We are recording. I accidentally did not record at the same time, but I'm sure you'll be able to line this up pretty good. We are trying new things. We have a new backdrop. It's a little bit more sleeker, a little bit more slim, a little bit more streamlined, I guess. We also have a new PC. It glows. It's cool.
Again, I'll put a picture up here. Or I guess here.
Yeah. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of how much better it is than the old PC. I don't know what you're doing. The old PC had an i5 and this has an i7.
This beautiful grandmother.
This has a dedicated graphics card. It's an NVIDIA. That one has just an integrated one. A little shitty piece of shit. On little websites that say, putting two pieces of technology together, show you how different they are. It said that the graphics card in this new PC is 2,015% better than that one. So that's super cool. It has 12 gigs of RAM. That had 8. And on that one, on the medium quality settings, 30 frames per second, we were constantly hitting upwards of 60% CPU usage. Right now, we're on the second to highest quality setting, 60 frames per second, and we were barely hitting above 10%. So that's cool.
Also, we are trying something new with our recording process. We are recording our audio separately.
Yes.
And that will give me more flexibility in terms of audio editing. Like if Nick's too loud or if I'm more likely too loud, I can bring that down in editing without affecting the other person's audio. And yeah. I can do specific sound effects for specific people without affecting both. It's going to be a good thing, I think.
Yeah. It's just, I probably should have mic checked, but everything looks fine. Because I accidentally also kicked the extension cord out of the wall that had everything plugged into it. So that's super cool. Yeah. What else were we going to talk about?
Well, we normally do the how are you, but we already did that.
I'm fine.
Manic episodes 3 times in a row. One every other week.
Yeah.
Normally. I'm upstairs now. I slept on a couch for a year and a half. Okay, cool.
All of that just kind of blew the wind out of my fucking sails, and I'm trying so hard, but I'm like, ugh, again. I am okay. I woke up at like 11 because it was either the PC or the SSD for my PS5 was going to come today, and obviously it was the PC. I've been trying to sleep my work schedule. I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule little by little. I usually wake up around 2 o'clock. I have been trying my best to wake up around 1.
Which I have noticed. I didn't realize it was intentional, but I have noticed.
Yeah, it's been intentional.
Well, good job.
Also, I forget that doing your eye makeup, sometimes you get makeup in your eye and it burns, and my right eye burns.
Still?
Yeah, it lasts all day.
Oh,
yeah.
Obviously I don't do makeup, so
yes. Just an FYI.
Anyways,
we're using a television as a monitor because I didn't know that this PC didn't have VGA out. It only has DisplayPort out and HDMI out, and my display to VGA is at home, and my wife has the car. So,
bitch. Just kidding.
not my wife, the person she's working with. Yes.
I know.
Yes. Whoop! I accidentally touched the gain. I hope that didn't. Fucking. Damn it.
So earlier
This is not going as well as the first go through. So that's super cool.
So earlier you had brought up something about, I think it was breadsticks.
Breadsticks.
Yeah. And Kanye.
Fish sticks.
I was
And
close.
Kanye West, the famous rapper.
I have been so curious since you told me about that. I have no fucking idea about any of it.
So, let's go back in time just a little bit. Kanye West either has bipolar, manic depressive episodes, or has some sort of like personality disorder, because he will go from the most normal hood rat rapper gangster type wannabe type of a dude, just like any other rapper, to the most evil, disgusting, vile piece of shit that you wouldn't even scrape off of a boot. He, so for those of you who don't know, for the Super Bowl, companies spend millions upon millions of dollars to advertise during the Super Bowl, because there are millions, sometimes billions, maybe,
Of people
who watch.
If not trillions.
Kanye motherfucking West spent millions upon millions of dollars to advertise his website like so. He was reclined back like this, and he was getting his grills done, and he was like, "Hey, yo, go check out the KanyeShop.com. Peace." And that was that. That was it. That was the whole fucking commercial. He was in a dentist's chair, getting his grills done, and he did it on his fucking iPhone. Now, question. What was on KanyeShop.com?
I want to go back real quick and say that at least he proved a point that you don't have to have high-tech equipment and millions of dollars for a Super Bowl ad.
No, you just have to be a rich asshole.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he proved a point.
I suppose
unintentionally.
Yes. So, again, what possibly could have been so important that he had to record this on his iPhone while he's getting his grills done to be posted during the Super Bowl for millions and millions and millions of dollars? I'll tell you, Morgan, my friend. Plain white t-shirts with a black swastika. That is all. They didn't even have different colors of swastikas. They didn't even have different kinds of t-shirts or sweaters or hoodies or anything like that. I don't think. I could be wrong. That's it. And they were like $300, $400.
What?
Like yeah. This man has been on an anti-Semitic tirade for the past, like, year. And people are like, Kanye, are you okay? And it's like, these motherfuckers are fake friends. Fuck them. I don't trust no motherfuckers. I don't even relate to black people. I don't even know what a black people is, man. I ain't black. You're crazy. I'm a white person. I'm an Aryan, a Jew-hating white. That's what I am. My favorite celebrity of all time, Hitler. I love me some fucking Hitler, and I hope to God your neighbors can hear me. He literally has posted, I don't know how many times, things in all caps saying, like, I love Hitler. The Jews killed Christ. Things like that. I identify as a white man. Things like that. But the thing that tops it all off, mere days ago, this man posted, actually, you know what? Let me grab my phone, because I want to be very, very precise on how I report this without pulling all the cords out of the wall again.
I feel like I need to state that this is going to be what Kanye said, just being reiterated.
Yes.
I don't know what the fuck is about to happen, but I have a feeling it is not good. And I'm a little scared.
First thing that comes up is Kanye West cousin. Very super cool.
What?
So, let's preface this with saying that South Park was right. Absolutely, South Park was right. The episode about fish sticks. Except it's not him who's eating the fish sticks. It is his cousin. And I accidentally hit the gain again. My bad. Bop, bop, bop. Okay. I am quoting at Kanye West, Mr. Ye. This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years ago. A few years after I told him we wouldn't, quote, look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found on the top of my mom's closet were different. That, in and of itself, is bad.
Yeah.
But the tweet goes on.
Oh, no.
My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's dick until I was 14. Tweet sent. Kanye West is a gay fish.
I quit. I quit podcast. I quit life. I'm going to bed.
Holy shit. Oh, shit. Oh. I'm scared.
You should be. I'll kill you with a stick.
Mom, come get me. I'm scared.
Okay, wait. Oh my.
A lot of shit fell. Look at that. The book fell perfectly on it. Look. at this. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at that book. The book landed perfectly upright. That's super cool. We'll fix that after we record.
Really, I just wanted to put your painting back up.
It's upside down.
Just because I felt it was important enough to be picked up immediately.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say something went wrong with your mic, but you turned it off. So
I'm sorry for knocking that down.
that's okay.
I didn't mean to.
That's okay.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Wasn't he the same guy
There you
that beat a lady in
No.
in a hotel?
No, that is for all of Kanye's faults, and there are many.
Clearly.
I don't believe he has ever been physically aggressive with a woman. Has Kanye
Pretty
Ever
sure he was.
beat a woman? There is, I guess, a lawsuit right now accusing him of sexual assault.
What, of his cousin?
I don't believe so. No. It happened around 2024, I guess. He did say, quote, "I beat women," when defending P. Diddy. But there is no evidence of him ever beating a woman.
Then who is it that
Chris Brown, probably.
I think you're right now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So, but, okay. But he also admits to being gay. Did he ever?
No, he's. I don't think he would call himself gay, or even bi. I don't think so.
Yeah, the motherfucker wouldn't even call himself black.
Yeah. That's fair.
So, one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
But he admits to being black or to being gay
No, he doesn't.
in that tweet. He did.
I suppose.
I'm specifically only talking about the tweet.
Okay. Yes. I don't think he would call himself gay, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because he's detached from reality.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he admitted to incest. As well,
Kind of, yeah.
As well as, depending on how old he was compared to
Comparatively,
the cousin.
he didn't say.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
He said the cousin was 6.
Yes.
And it happened until he himself was 14. So it doesn't really say how old they were at the same time.
But regardless, he would have to be the instigator on that one.
It depends on who was older, but even if they're, yeah, it just it depends on who was older.
Well, obviously, Kanye was the older one.
How do you know that?
The brother was, or the cousin was 6.
Yeah, but you don't know how old he was when the cousin was 6.
Older than the 6?
You don't know that.
Because a 6-year-old wouldn't understand what they were looking at.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do, actually.
No, you
they
don't,
would have to
actually.
be taught.
That doesn't mean they wouldn't know.
Have you ever heard, my parents were wrestling last night?
Yes.
Wrestling.
Yes.
That's sex.
Yes.
The kid literally saw them having sex and had no fucking idea.
That is one child.
It's happened. It happens all the fucking time.
You're right, it does. But children lose their innocence very young, all the fucking time.
True. But this would have been back in, what, in the 90s probably?
You think child rape wasn't a thing in the 90s?
No, I mean... Wait, how old is he now?
Kanye?
Yeah. Kanye fucking gay ho West. Kanye incest-loving gay boy West.
47.
Okay,
He was born in 77.
So yeah, I find it extremely unlikely that
Oh yeah, it's extremely unlikely,
The
but it's not
cousin-
impossible.
I find it extremely unlikely that the cousin was already aware of what he was looking at.
Again, it's extremely unlikely, but it's not impossible. It's extremely unlikely that a meteor the shape of a penis would bust through this ceiling right now and kill us both instantly. But it's not impossible.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Kanye could have been younger than the 6-year-old.
I really doubt it.
So do I, but it's not impossible.
Also, did he grow up in Alabama?
I don't know.
Because if he did, first of all, he ain't no hood. Second of all, how the fuck is he alive?
Atlanta. He was born in Atlanta.
Really close then. How the fuck is he alive?
What do you mean?
The South is, or I guess they've gotten more accepting nowadays, but they're typically known for not being very accepting of...
You do know that gay, trans, bisexual, and lesbian people have been a thing since the dawn of fucking man, right?
Yes, but that's not what I'm getting at here. I'm saying the South isn't known for being the most accepting culture.
Neither was the 1200s. What are you getting at?
A black person probably would not be welcomed there. Up until 2010, maybe.
Black people weren't very welcomed here in America in the 1700s. There's still black people today. I'm not getting what you're getting at.
Well, there's one less now. Unless... Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Incest.
Mm-hmm.
Cousin fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Also, why... What does that have to do with fish sticks?
Oh, the episode of South Park was that in order to kind of... Because it's been a thing for a very long time that Kanye West is not a very smart person. So in order to get around calling him a gay retard to his face, they called him a gay fish. And he likes fish sticks because it sounds like fish dicks. And they called him a gay fish in the episode.
Okay, wait. He likes fish sticks.
Mm-hmm. In his mouth.
Because it sounds like fish dick.
Yes.
Is that a quote from him or...
No. What?
Are we still talking about South Park here?
Yes.
Oh.
In the episode, I will say this again. In the episode, people called him a gay fish and said that he liked fish sticks to get around calling him a gay retard to his face.
Okay.
So people called him a gay fish and that he liked fish sticks in his mouth because fish stick sounds like fish dick.
Okay.
And it's not he who is the consumer of fish sticks. It is his cousin who eats his... Wait. Was it he who munch on cousin or cousin munch on him? Oh, yeah. He sucked, and my name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin. Oh, no. South Park was 100% right. 100% right. He likes fish sticks in his mouth. He is a gay fish.
Okay, cool. Glad we established that.
Yes. A guy in Pocatello was shot and killed. We laugh because that's how we deal with bad shit.
Yes.
It's not good.
It's
not okay.
This is the start of a very serious part of the episode. We don't typically do serious things here, but this is one of those things that even I'm going to try and be as serious as I can. On April 15th, I believe it was. 17th. There was a shooting in Pocatello, Idaho, which is like...
Oh, no, the mayor said something about it on the 17th. The shooting happened on the 5th.
Oh, the 5th. So I combined the two accidentally.
Yes.
There was a shooting involving 3 or 4 Pocatello Police Department officers.
Victor Perez was the kid's name.
Where
he was 17.
A 17-year-old with autism and cerebral palsy was shot and killed.
He was nonverbal.
So the call supposedly came out as...
He did have cerebral palsy. I didn't know that.
Made me lose my train of thought. Thanks.
How does it feel, fucker?
I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot how it feels. I lost my train of thought.
So what happened was there was a 911 call because a neighbor, said that
actually, no, it wasn't a neighbor.
Was it not?
No, it was some type of worker at, I want to say like in construction site or something. And he called 911 saying that this black male was
Hispanic.
Sorry, Hispanic male was...
It's southern Idaho. There's not very many black people here.
Yeah.
There's like maybe 20 in a 50-mile radius.
Yeah, I saw one yesterday, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he was super black.
Okay.
Anyways, that's besides the point.
Uh-huh.
And the caller stated that he had a knife and the dude seemed drunk.
Yes.
Which makes sense because of the cerebral palsy.
Mm-hmm.
The cops get on scene and from the...
By the way, he was in his own yard.
Yes.
During a family barbecue.
And the cops show up and immediately start screaming at him with guns pointed at him. Keep in mind, this is a nonverbal, autistic male. Who probably also has some very slow mental processing.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention that because of his cerebral palsy, he was having trouble holding onto the knife as is. And they lit his ass up.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's been outrage. If you haven't heard about it by now, where have you fucking been, you know? Under a rock?
Or they just don't pay attention to the news because I know a lot of people nowadays don't.
I don't pay attention to the news, and even I know about it.
Yeah, because I do. And I
Yeah.
tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't pay attention to it.
Okay, but this isn't about you.
I know it's about a kid that got shot.
Okay.
I have only ever seen the security camera footage. What about you?
I saw a little bit of the body cam footage.
I've seen none of it. The call obviously didn't state that he was autistic. The dispatch didn't state that he was autistic either. But they should have at least had one cop, bare minimum one cop, with a taser. And instead of showing up, at least on the security camera video, they should have tried talking to him first.
Yeah.
Instead of just
Immediately, put the knife down, put it down, get on the ground, put your hands in the air, put the knife on the ground.
put your knife in the air and your hands on the ground.
And you thumb up your... I'm sorry.
So that's what we're going to be doing today.
What?
We're going to be talking about that.
We already are. What do you mean?
We're going to be looking at the body cam and all that fun stuff.
You never said anything about that. I need to set shit up for that kind of thing. And you need to tell me beforehand.
No,
We can't do that right now.
no, I didn't mean record the body cam.
What do you... Okay?
We're going to watch it normally. Comprende?
Why?
Why what?
You need to tell me these things beforehand, Morgan.
I'm not understanding what you're not...
There's nothing to understand. You need to tell me beforehand when you want to watch a video, recording it or otherwise, so that I'm prepared for these types of things. There's nothing else to understand.
I thought that was the plan from day one.
No.
Of putting
It
it on
never
the
was.
on the
No.
board.
No. It never was.
Okay, well, I misunderstood our stances there. So, I guess, what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
Cut this part out. So what happened was, cops rolled up, already with weapons drawn. Not a non-lethal deterrent, I guess, in sight. There were no
Non-lethal
nightsticks.
option.
There were no nightsticks. There weren't any beanbag guns. There weren't any rubber bullet rifles. There weren't any tasers. Nothing.
Nope.
Which already
Red flag.
red flag, because if there was a fence between the kid and the cops, for one, and he has a melee weapon, for two. Therefore, there is no closing the gap. There is no needing to run for cover. There's no need for a plan for evasive maneuvers. Literally, all you have to do is stand more than 3 or 4 feet from the kid, and you'll be fine. Two, They immediately started shouting.
Which to an autistic person, that's a good point. To an autistic person can be very overwhelming very fucking quickly.
Even forgetting that he was autistic. Anybody in an aggravated state will not calm down if you start shouting at them. If they're aggravated enough to have a knife, in a threatening manner, I suppose, shouting at them, especially aggressively, will not help anything.
There's a difference between firmly stating that the knife needs to be dropped and shouting that the knife needs to be dropped.
There's a difference between saying like, what are you doing with that knife? You need to put it down, buddy! And put the knife down!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, obviously, there's a lot of problems with how it was handled.
Yes.
In fact, the situation in itself is a problem, I think.
The whole thing from start to finish was bad.
So, I understand why they showed up the way they did.
Yeah.
With guns drawn. But you are taught in the police academy, and this is anywhere in the country, probably even the world.
Mm-hmm. De-escalation techniques?
Well, but what I'm specifically getting at is there needs to be at least one non-lethal. Mm-hmm. And then the rest has lethal coverage. So if, say, in a different instance, someone who was an actual fucking threat charged at the cops with a knife and the taser failed to fire, or the prongs didn't connect or sink in far enough, whatever the case.
Or they're high as fuck and keep going anyway.
Yeah. Whatever the fucking case may be.
Yeah.
The taser doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that actually happens a lot.
I'm sure.
Tasers don't always work, contrary to a popular belief. Same with beanbag rounds.
Yeah.
They're not pleasant. But I have seen people literally laugh them off.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, non-lethal has lethal coverage. Lethal has non-lethal coverage.
Sure.
You know, so when the taser fails, you have at least one guy with a gun who can start lighting the threat up while you're going for your gun to light the threat up.
Yeah.
That is what should have been done. But showing up to a person, a reportedly drunk person with a knife, that with guns drawn, that is reasonable in my opinion. All of them having guns out, not.
There were, I believe, 9, between 7 and 9 cops. No, that was how many bullets there were. I don't remember how many cops there were, but there was quite a few.
There was 3 or 4 that were involved in the actual shooting.
So I know that 9 bullets made contact with the kid, and about 20 rounds were fired. That in and of itself is an issue.
Yeah. Although I will say that in the police academy, again, I'm going to be going to how they're trained, because that's where the issue stems from one way or another. Mm-hmm. In the police academy, you are taught to shoot until the threat is no more.
Okay.
And then, if possible, render aid and get medical and all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to be trying to... Like, if I charged at you with a bomb or something, you're not going to shoot me once and hope that I go down.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So, it is literally... I think it's literally called "Don't Stop Shooting Until the threat is gone.
But the thing is,
He wasn't a
all
threat.
the way from square one, it was a knife,
Yes.
and there was a fence between the cops and the kid.
Yes.
That's where the main issue stems.
Yes, they should not have shot. That I get, or I agree with. But the fact of the matter is, the police academy trains you on different things
Sure.
repeatedly so that you develop that muscle memory.
Right.
So the mag dump can be considered a muscle memory. Oh, my finger's on the trigger. Time to go to work, you know.
So taking a step back from the bullets and them being fired, another issue is that I believe there was only about 20 to 30 seconds of negotiations.
Yep.
Because the kid was nonverbal, and because he was in his own backyard, I don't know if there were like other adults or just people in the backyard with the kid or what.
There was.
But there was no real conversation.
No.
There was no real response from the kid or anybody in the area. There was no real negotiations.
Yeah.
There was just cops screaming and then firing.
Yeah. I do know, at least from a few different sources, that the kid seemed to take a step forward right before they started shooting. Regardless, I don't fucking think that's enough to start shooting.
Yeah.
Like, yes, in a general sense, if someone has a knife, you're going to handle it aggressively. But you got to take it by situation to situation.
Yeah.
The fact alone that there was a fence, and if you pay attention, he was obviously struggling to hold on to the fucking knife. He's not gonna. He probably
If the kid had jumped the fence, that would be a bit more justifiable.
Yeah, but I can't even see him making it over the fence, let alone landing on his feet.
Yeah. So, you know, the kid is shot 9 times. I guess something had happened with his leg so bad that they had to amputate his leg. I don't know if like an artery or a nerve had been severed or what, but they had to amputate his leg. I think they kept him alive a grand total of like 5 or 6 days, not even a week.
Yeah.
And they just said there's no real possible way that he's ever going to wake up.
There was no brain activity. That's when the decision was made.
Yeah.
To pull the plug.
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah.
And of course, I think it's Bannock County. This is right here. Yes, Bannock County did say that these officers are going to be released from duty. I don't know if they're being released without pay, or if they are like completely fired, or if they're just suspended or what. But as of right now, the police officers involved do not work with the Bannock County Police.
No, they don't work with Pocatello. Pocatello PD was the one that did the shooting.
Is that different?
Yes. Bannock County would be the sheriff and all that.
Oh, okay. But the article that I just read did say that an agency outside of Bannock County will be conducting the investigation.
Yes, the Critical Incident Task Force, which basically anywhere in southern Idaho. This specific task force, which is compiled of a bunch of different departments and agencies and all that fun stuff, when a major incident or shooting, anything like that takes place, they come in and do an independent investigation.
Yeah.
So that people can say, yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, this was a shitty situation, but good job holding those accountable, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
Really, I just think they like to be on their fucking high horses.
Yeah.
And, sorry to cut you off, but actually, no, go ahead. I forgot what I was going to say.
So Pocatello is technically in southeast Idaho, but it's still southern Idaho.
Yes.
And I think it's really funny. I follow a meme page on Facebook. I know I'm a boomer. Who is based out of somewhere in Russia, and they update every so often about things that's going on in Russia. And they posted a screenshot of 4chan, something to do with Idaho. I don't remember. And the meme page itself said something like, "I've always wanted to visit Idaho. It seems beautiful." And I commented, "Don't. There's nothing but meth and corrupt cops here." And then somebody, who I later found out was from up north in Nampa, commented, "You're from the South, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Hey, buddy, fuck you." Which, I mean, it's really funny that he was able to peg me as being someone from southern Idaho, which absolutely.
It's funny because you enjoy being pegged.
I wouldn't know. I haven't tried it. I do like... I'm not going to admit that. As someone who currently has makeup on, I'm not admitting to anything.
That's sad.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just a little short little tale from around our parts. Once upon a time, there was a homeless man with, I think, 2 dogs. And he was walking, and one of his dogs got loose, I think, and was walking around the highway, and a highway somewhere around here. I don't remember exactly where. I think it was over by Love's, Carl's Jr. And they couldn't get a hold of him, and I think what happened was that a sheriff just shot the dog, killed it.
Are you talking about the one that was all over the fucking place?
Yeah.
So first of all, that wasn't a homeless man.
Wasn't it?
No. The dogs had, the plural, dogs, had escaped from their yard.
Okay. I think I might be getting 2 different stories mixed up.
Probably. And it wasn't... You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. It's fucking Hayburn.
Yeah.
Hayburn fucking PD fucking sucks. They can fucking...
They absolutely do.
They can suck on every inch of my fucking ass.
Yeah. I've never had a direct confrontation with any Hayburn PD, but I did have a confrontation with ISP in Hayburn, and that was pretty good. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if it would have been a Hayburn cop, it would have gone south real quick.
Yeah. So,
Actually, that's a lie. I'll let you finish, though.
But Hayburn PD, I believe he was a sergeant, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that part.
Yeah.
He was the one that grabbed the AR and put the dog down right there in the middle of the fucking highway. In front of all these fucking cars. I don't give a shit that it was holding up traffic. I don't give a fuck. That is not the right way to handle it.
Yeah.
So, I followed that for a while, even after everybody kind of moved on from it. And, do you know what happened to that cop?
What happened to him?
Nothing.
I'm sure.
No pay decrease. no suspension, obviously no firing.
Because they don't give a fuck.
And he's still with that department to this day. I have seen him driving around.
Yeah.
And I'm going to request a different cop from a different department if I ever get pulled over
Yeah.
by Hayburn. Because it's like, okay, what you pulled me over for? Okay, cool. Get somebody else for that. Because this ain't going to fly.
Yeah.
And it is legally within my rights to do that.
When I had a BB gun pulled on my head and then like 7 different cops aimed rifles at me, that was Hebron PD. And then when I got pulled over when I had long hair and they were like, do you know how fast you were going, ma'am? I'm like, no, I don't, officer. How fast was I going? That was Hebron PD too.
Well,
so that's cool.
So the way you describe it, the BB gun one, it could have been in Hayburn.
Yeah.
But I mean, the March units were probably Hayburn.
Yeah.
But the unmarked, Hayburn PD does not have unmarked cars.
It might have been Minidoka because when I first noticed it, we were between Hayburn and Paul. We were going out the back roads, coming in over by Route 66 that way.
Get your kicks on Route 66.
It's a gas station. But yeah, that's where we were when I first noticed the unmarked following us. I don't know why I have a marker.
And
that could have been Minidoka.
It sounds like something Minidoka would do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they handled that situation, at least in my opinion, from what you've told me, very well.
Because I know that there was at least 2 Burley PD, and then the rest of them were Hayburn PD.
So it would make sense.
Because it's a very small area. It's all within, like, not even 10, maybe like 7 or 8 miles of each other. So
9 at most.
At 9 at most. So it's not uncommon to have like 2 or 3 different counties or 2 or 3 different departments all at one scene.
Yeah.
It's usually just like whoever can get there the fastest.
And even then, it's still, okay, you need help? Well, we're coming. You know?
I'm sure they have their own separate, like scanner channels or whatever. And
they do.
I'm pretty sure they have like a tri-state area channel for everybody to listen in on, don't they?
Yeah.
Because that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot what I was gonna say. The cops in your situation there, at least again from what you've told me, handled it as well as they could have.
Yeah, because I just remembered.
A shit situation. Let's admit that.
Yeah, I lived right behind that little area behind Rite Aid, so that's kind of smack in the middle of Hayburn and Burley. So that would make sense. Yeah.
But stay in the car and having the guns drawn and everything like that, and taking you guys out one by one. That is completely reasonable in my book.
Yeah.
Especially because they didn't know.
Yeah. It was just so funny. My favorite part of it was my first friend, I think I called him Kevin.
You did, yes.
The one who was holding the gun to my head, he tried immediately opening the door and going like this, not pointing at the cops, of course, but like going like this with the flat end towards the cops. Like, it's fake! And they're like, get back to the fucking car! It's like, okay. I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
Clearly. Do you still talk to him?
Very rarely, like maybe once or twice a year.
Because it would be interesting, I think.
He lives in Arizona.
Oh, never mind. You knew what I was going to say, didn't you?
If he could get on the podcast and talk about it.
Like his point of view of things, I think that'd be interesting to hear.
Yeah.
You can tell me if I'm wrong on that, but
No, absolutely not.
But yeah, no, it was just a kind of a shitty situation all around. I think the cops handled it perfectly.
My situation?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the cops handled it perfectly.
Yeah.
Again, they didn't know it was a fake gun.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can't fucking tell.
Yeah.
Like, I have one, not here, for obvious reasons, but I have one that literally is from Sig Sauer, and it is built to resemble perfectly, pretty much, perfectly, the P226.
Okay.
A gun.
Obviously. A gun that resembles another gun. Cool.
Well, it's a pellet gun.
Yes, but it's still a gun.
Yes.
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 Yes. No. But the Pocatello...
I have a question real quick. Super, super quick.
What's up?
If you are not allowed to own any type of gun whatsoever, are you able to borrow for a day a pellet gun to go, not pellet gun, a BB gun to go BB shooting? Can it not be in your possession, or can it not be owned by you in the house?
The way I understand it, and I would have to ask for clarity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Airsofting is what I meant.
Disclaimer. This is not legal advice.
Yes.
I am not a lawyer. I'm an idiot.
Mm.
But you can have it in your possession, I think, as long as the actual owner of the gun is right there.
Let's say that I took you airsofting, and let's say I don't know anything about your probation officer, but let's say he has a kid, and your probation officer's kid knows who you are, and he's there at the airsoft field too, and he tells his dad, "Hey, Morgan was at the airsoft field and he was shooting airsoft." Would you get in trouble for that?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Like I said, it's something I would have to check, but probably not. He's always super excited when I'm like, I'm going out of town to see family, or I'm going to do this or that, and I'm getting out into the public. He's always super happy about that. So I don't see him having a problem with it, other than the standard probation guidelines.
Yeah.
But I don't think that says anything about possession of.
Huh.
You just can't own or reside in a residence with one.
Yeah.
I don't know. The law is fucky.
Yeah. It's really stupid. I understand pellet guns, but you can't even own like Nerf dart guns.
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
It's never been said about anything to
Because
me.
you know who lived behind you at one time. He had some of those, and he had them like confiscated.
Never been said to me. And I'm pretty sure there's 2 of them in this room.
Okay.
They're probably buried.
Yeah. You're right, you do. You
But-
might actually want to check in on that.
But it's never been an issue. And they've searched my house, as you know, a few different times.
That's right, they have.
And
Maybe you
They
know
were more
who had a
concerned-
special stipulation.
they
I
were
don't know.
more concerned about guitar strings.
Guitar strings?
Like old guitar strings.
Okay. Why?
I kept them in a drawer
Uh-huh.
to in case I couldn't afford to go get new guitar strings, but I needed strings.
Uh-huh.
I kept them in a drawer for a rainy day, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probation came and flipped the house, almost literally.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the POs comes back and is like, we're going to arrest you for this. And I'm like, you're going to arrest me for a guitar string? And she looks at it and goes, that's a guitar string?
What'd you think it was?
She thought it was something used to strangle someone.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it's called, though.
Piano wire?
I was going to say, people usually use piano wire, but there's an actual thing that has like two wooden handles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, they're guitar.
Because I've played
Hitman.
I almost said Assassin's Creed. That's not it.
Dude, that would be fun to do for couch potatoes.
Assassin's Creed?
No, Hitman.
Oh.
Just dick around on
I
it.
was going to say, half of the Assassin's Creeds, and I think the newer Hitman games are on Game Pass.
Something we're going to have to look into.
And I can put it on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, we're going to arrest you for this. And I'm like, you're going to arrest me for a guitar string?
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking to myself, there is no judge in the world
who would let that stand. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't care how corrupt they are. They would take one look at it and go, this is fucking stupid. Get out.
It would be like, cool, does he have a guitar in the home? Yes. Get the fuck out of my courtroom.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't have a guitar and you had a guitar string, then that would be a little suspicious.
I'd be concerned about that, yes.
Yeah.
But I have...
I'd be like, maybe.
Especially because my guitar was in the front room at the time. Right when you walked in, it was right there. So they fucking knew.
Yeah.
And they were surprised that I had guitar strings.
Yeah.
And they said that I had to get rid of the old ones.
That's stupid.
Which, I was already in handcuffs at that time, so I wasn't going to push the issue too much.
You're like, okay.
But
sure.
I've started another rainy day stash in the exact same spot.
That's cool that you just admitted that, and this is going to be public. I would have been like, I have knives sharper than a butter knife. Am I going to be arrested for that too? I also have blunt objects that I can crack skulls open with.
I have objects that I can throw.
I have
very hard
thick books.
And I don't know how to read. Are you going to arrest me for that?
Do I need a license for that butter knife?
But
Govna. Like, what is this? Fuck.
But going back to Pocatello.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
I actually, so I know someone who knows a cop out there.
Yeah.
With Pocatello. And apparently, so first I want to say he couldn't say much, obviously.
Uh-huh.
But that goes without saying, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But the cops there, nobody even wanted to look at them.
I wouldn't blame him.
So even though the police department and like the police chief and the mayor and all that were like, it's good,
very political.
Good job, but also bad.
Yeah, they were very political about it.
Yeah, no, it's like admit that you fucked up, take action, and move on.
Yeah.
Like you are the reason that this shit is prolonging.
Mm-hmm.
So. And it's because of the politics. Yeah. And I've said it a couple of times on this channel, but I will say it again. I fucking hate politics.
I was in Pocatello for a few hours last week, and I saw at least 4 different cars with something to do with, like, Justice for Victor or whatever. I thought that was pretty cool.
Victory for Victor.
That's actually not bad.
I know. But yeah, there wasn't much he could say.
The cop.
Yeah. I was even like, come on, I won't tell.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't having it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you can't blame a guy for trying, you know?
I don't have a podcast, and I won't make this public.
Yeah. As for the guitar string thing, the difference between then and now is if they have an issue with it now,
There's precedent.
I am not in handcuffs, so I can push back.
Push back in what?
Like, not literally push back, you know, but like
Fuck.
fight them on how fucking stupid it is. I couldn't do that then because I was in cuffs.
If they're going to have a problem with it, you're going to be in cuffs again. Otherwise, how would they have a problem with it, Morgan?
And it wasn't even my PO.
No. We're not moving off on this.
I shrugged my shoulders.
Yeah, we're not moving off on this. If they found it once, and they said, hey, get rid of this, and if they find it again, you're going to be in more trouble, actually. Because they're like, we already told you about this, bro.
Yeah, and my response is going to be, hey, guess what? I still play guitar, fucker.
And they're probably going to be, hey, guess what? You're going to spend a few nights in jail, fucker.
And then my response is going to be, hey, guess what? You're about to lose your fucking job.
Yeah, that's fine. They probably might get scolded, but you're still going to have to go up in front of a judge.
Yeah, who will be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying, if they find it a second time, you're going to spend some time in jail. It might be tossed out the window by the judge and laughed at by the judge, but you're still going to do some time for it.
Few nights at the most.
Okay.
Won't kill you. It's going to be unpleasant, but it's not going to kill you.
Actually, I have a quick question.
What's up?
When, I'm sure this has happened to you at least once or twice, when they throw you in county and they're booking you and they say you're going to see the judge tomorrow morning, or if it's on a weekend, Monday morning, do you prefer to be in Gen Pop or in solitary? Because I always preferred to be in solitary because I knew, oh, it's only a day or two. I'll just, chill in solitary.
So first, I want to start by saying that I made some dumb decisions when I was younger, and I'm paying for them now.
Mm-hmm.
Those decisions tend to be frowned upon, which I get.
You don't have to talk about that part.
I'm going to, at least a little bit.
Okay.
If you know, or you can pick up what I'm putting down, good for you. I'm not gonna publicly state it.
If you're only going to hint at it, I wouldn't. Because there's too much wiggle room for people to insert what they think might have happened. But if you want to, go ahead. I just would not if I were you. At all. I would either come out with it completely or not at all.
In 2020, I was arrested with a certain type of pornography. Possession of a certain type of pornography. And that's why things are the way they are. Because I fucked up really fucking bad. I'm not proud of it. But we all make mistakes, and you learn to be a better person from them. And so the first time I got arrested, like actually arrested, I was put in solitary.
Mm-hmm.
and I stayed there an entire month.
You stayed an entire month in solitary?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
From the day I went in to the day I left, I spent it in solitary.
Uh-huh.
By choice.
Understandable.
The second time around, for my PV, again, I spent a month. But I was forced into Gen Pop.
Okay.
And the stories about what they do to people with charges like I have, they are absolutely true. Like,
can we at least... Hold on. Cut this out if you want to cut this out. That's fine. Can we at least say that it was a complete misunderstanding, that it was online, and there was no, like, age verification, and you thought everything was above board? Can you at least say that? Because if not, then there's going to be way too much, like, oh, what kind of porn was it? What kind of, why is this guy, why is he even associating with this guy? Like, I really think you should at least clarify that.
I'll get that in.
Okay, cool.
But it's one of those things that I'm still trying to learn to be comfortable talking about in detail.
Mm-hmm. Everybody makes mistakes.
Like, that's why I'm being so vague. It's not because I have anything to hide.
Like, honestly, if I thought that the circumstances were malicious, I don't think I would ever want to work with you again. I absolutely believe that mistakes were made, that there was no real checking of, ages.
I didn't think about it at the time.
Right. It was all online.
Yes. But I'm being vague about it because it's still difficult to talk to 5 years later.
Yeah.
Or talk to?
Talk about it.
Yeah. 5 years later. This is the only time I will ever admit it on the podcast. So if you're watching this, good for you. Or, yeah, good for you, honestly. But I was put in Gen Pop.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been tossed around, metaphorically, for a little over 18 hours at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I just wanted to sleep.
Yeah.
Because when I was PV'd, I was put in Kaja County. And then in the Gen Pop there, that was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody was so nice to me.
Yeah, Kaja's pretty good. I only had one bad experience there.
But then, first thing that next morning, I got transferred to Twin. And I set up my stuff. They didn't even have any open cells. Mm-hmm. I was put in a cell with two other dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know anything about the structure of the jail over there, so
bricks.
It's not anything like Kaja?
No,
you're talking about Twin, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they don't have pods like Kaja, right?
No, they have pods.
Okay.
But a pod is consisted of cells.
Okay.
And they didn't have any open ones for me. So I was put in a cell with two other guys.
Okay.
I laid my shit out on the floor, which I've slept on a couch for a year and a half. Like, I'm fine sleeping in odd places.
Mm-hmm.
And I just laid down. And then they called lunch. Mm-hmm. So I got up and I ate. Then I went to lay back down and two guys come into the cell and just start harassing me and hounding me and threatening me. And there's a third one, but he's just kind of He's not saying anything, but he's part of it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, I jump up and immediately a fight breaks out. I slammed one into the sink. That was fun.
Okay.
I like the noise he made. Or the impact made.
Uh-huh.
I like the noise of it.
Okay.
The other one I pushed onto the quote bunk bed type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just kind of sat there and watched the fight go on. I was like, you were a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And so me and this one guy are tossing around, struggling, and he is just wailing on my face. And I think I tripped him. And I think that's how I was able to get out of the actual cell.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, I had no chance of being able to even get out.
Yeah.
And I tripped him, and I bolted out the door, and I pounded on the hallway doors.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what they're called, but the hallway doors.
Mm-hmm.
And a cop comes in, and the cop that had brought me in there, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
he takes one look at me, and I'm gushing blood.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, let's get you to the nurse. And he, like, legitimately, he was pissed.
Yeah.
The whole entire pod got put on lockdown because of these two fucks.
Yeah. So did they know what you were in there for, or did they
Yes.
just wanted to wail on someone?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they asked, and it was the sex offender wing. So I was like,
I see.
they'll understand, right? I was wrong.
Yeah.
I left my glasses in the cell.
Oh.
Yeah, the guard had to go and get them. And they tried rushing out of the door when he was in there to get them. So
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah.
And then I was in solitary after that. I wasn't even there a full hour.
That's crazy.
But I will tell you this, I slept very good when I was finally able to sleep.
Yeah.
So, I'm not proud of it. I've made mistakes. I'm not going to sit here and brag about it. Who would? So, I was 20 at the time. And, no, 21.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember I spent my 21st birthday in jail. So I was 20 and 21 in jail.
Yeah.
So, I was young, I was naive. I didn't take the right steps that I should have
Yeah.
in hindsight. But I had known this girl for literally fucking forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't in my head, hey, I need to get actual verification.
Yeah. But you had never met her in real life.
No.
Okay.
But, like, I had no reason not to trust her, is what
Yeah.
I'm getting at. Now, if it was someone I had just met, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's a bit more understandable.
And people automatically assume that I went out targeting people,
Yeah.
so to speak. No. Like, I had better things to do. I was working on computers. I was playing games with friends. I was hanging out with my dog. Like, I legitimately do not have any fucking interest in that.
Yeah.
It was literally just a shitty circumstantial decision.
Yeah.
And I'm not proud of it. I hate it. I hate myself for it. But life goes on, whether you think it does or not. And I'm living proof of that.
Yeah.
Because I should not be here. I should not have survived everything that I have. But that's a story for another day. So, yes, I am registered as a sex offender. And I am on probation, obviously. But I still have a relatively normal life, all things considered.
Didn't you say that your public defender or one of the arresting police officers or something like that, didn't somebody along the way say, like, we don't want to do this to you, but technically you did break the law?
Yes, it wasn't a police officer. It was a federal agent.
Mm-hmm.
It was a task force type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of got caught up in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
Because the majority of who they arrested was legitimate,
Awful, terrible people.
yeah,
Actual predators.
yeah. And then there's me, who just kind of got swept up in the wave.
Yeah.
And it was an agent that said, like, I'm the one that went through everything. I don't think you should be charged, but it's not my deal.
So if it was like a task force, was it the state that prosecuted you, or was it the feds?
State.
State.
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, and I can't say this enough, I'm not proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate myself every day for it. But you learn to move on. You learn that there's still life.
There are things that people do in life that are shitty, that shouldn't be done, that could have been prevented, but they happen anyway. And you can tell by the way that person acts, the way that person talks, the way that person speaks about themselves, the way that they interact with other people, the way that they joke around even. You can tell just by every little tiny thing that they do that they're sorry, that they regret what they've done. And I've done some of those things. You get me talking about some of the shit that I've done in the past that are pretty bad, you'll be able to tell that I'm being genuine, because I really do regret those things. And I just really hope that, because every single time I bring it up with Morgan, things that he's done, I can tell that he's telling the truth, that these things did happen, and that, you know, that he is genuinely deep down. It's not just, oh, I'm sorry. And it's not just like, yeah, what I did was shitty. It's the only way that I can think
There were
of describing
lifestyle
it
changes.
is that it's like a tree, its roots going down, and it goes down to your heart, and those roots are guilt. That's the only way that I can describe it, and I truly do. Like I said, if I thought that any part of this story was malicious, or if he was lying or not telling the truth, I probably wouldn't want to be around this dude.
We wouldn't be friends.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I'm vague on it because it's still hard to talk about, because there's still a lot of
5 years is not enough time for something like that to be forgotten about.
Yeah, even like people just they hear the term sex offender and immediately it's burn him to the ground and all this different shit. And there's a lot of ways to get on the sex offender list.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, people need to learn to listen and not judge a book by its cover. Isn't that what we're taught in like grade school?
Yeah.
Not to judge a book by its cover. And then as adults, that's literally the definition of what they do.
I think that, and this is my Christianity talking, I think that there is a difference between forgiving a predator and keeping them at arm's length, and forgiving someone who is on the registry but didn't actually do anything maliciously, and forgiving them and reconciling with them. Because on one hand, if you are a predator and you do things maliciously and you want to hurt people, those people can be forgiven, but you don't want to be around them, if that makes sense. But on one hand, everybody does deserve forgiveness. But for those people who, the whole special victims unit thing, where it's like the crimes with children are especially heinous, it's like those people. I know you're supposed to forgive everybody, but I don't forgive those people. I can't.
Well, you don't have to because none of them have been in your life, I would assume.
No, but that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that there tangentially is someone like that in my life, attached to, by marriage, and they're not going to get out of jail until like 2050 or something like that. And even though I know what that person has done and when they'll be out, when they do get out, I don't think I ever want to meet them because I'm going to want to hurt them.
Can I help?
What Morgan has done, I feel zero with that respect. No hatred, no
malice,
no... Like, yes, there could have been steps to prevent what happened, but I know for a fact.
Again, you got to look at the situation. And sorry to cut you off, but again, you got to look at the situation. I had known this girl for literally months.
Right.
Talked every fucking day. And legitimately, she gave no reason not to trust her. Mm-hmm. So, why would I even think that she was lying to me?
Right. What I'm trying to get at is that there's going to be people who hear this story and immediately say, no, thank you. They're going to immediately say, I'm going to stay away from these guys. I want nothing to do with these guys. Why is Nick even associating himself with Morgan? Things like that.
First of all, it's a job. That's how it all started.
Sure.
But it's gotten so much more than that now, obviously. But
what do you think? What I'm trying to get at
Hang on. Sorry, but my words to those who immediately jump at the bandwagon of, oh, bad person, mm-hmm. And doesn't want anything to do with you or me, mm-hmm. or this channel in general, mm-hmm. that is your choice. I spent a long time trying to change everybody's minds because everybody's opinion tends to be very negative of you. Mm. It took me years to learn that people are allowed to have their opinion of you. You don't have to like it, but you gotta respect it. Yeah. And just because they believe something doesn't make it true. Yeah. I know at the end of the day, I'm a good person. I know at the end of the day, if someone needed something like the shirt off my back or whatever, I'd give it to them in a heartbeat. I would help literally anyone and everyone. And that's why I'm comfortable making the racist jokes, the sexist jokes, all of that, because believe what you want. I'm not going to try and change it. It's not worth it. So, really, if you want to unsubscribe, dislike, leave hateful comments, which I do want to know if there are any.
Yeah.
Go for it. Fucking do it. I'm not going to sit here and...
Whether you interact with us positively or negatively, it still boosts us in the algorithm, so go right ahead.
You can't change that. I made a mistake. I learned my lesson, and I am still paying for that mistake. So isn't that enough to at least give me a chance to redeem myself, you know? Mm. The answer to that usually is no. Every now and then, there's a special type of person who will be like, yeah, let's get to know you. But usually, it's immediate pull the shutter down.
Yeah. And as a Christian, I believe that you should not judge a person by things that they've done, but for their character and the fruits of their labor. And I know this might sound a little bit, oh, you protest too much, but it's true that the fruits of Morgan's labor are, he helps me get a package of ramen or pizza or something like that when I have no money.
Without question.
Without question. He, even if he's dead dog tired, even if he is wanting to lay down for a nap or whatever, if I say, like, hey, I left something at home, he's up and we're ready to go.
Yeah.
I genuinely think behind all the shit talking and
the rage and
racist jokes and the thick layer of tism, he is a good person.
That is actually the nicest thing I have heard in a longest fucking time. Thank you. And I'm not trying to make a joke here. I am legitimately thankful for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But
I honestly believe that if he were to be arrested tomorrow for something and they needed me to be a witness, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Like a character witness, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, there's no way Morgan could have done this because he's too busy being a jackass all the time.
The thing that pisses people off the most about him is that he matches energy. If you're being a bitch, if you're being rude and unreasonable, he'll be the exact same way back to you. And he even does it with me. Sometimes when I'm pissy and I'm a little bitch, he's a little bitch right back to me. And I'm like, why the fuck are you acting like this? And you're like, because you're acting like that. And I'm like, fair.
But I also just kind of act like a jackass all around because people, I'm sure you have your own stories of this. Everyone does, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. People are so superficial.
Yeah.
They are so fucking fake.
Yeah.
As soon as you let someone in and you start to trust them, gone.
Yeah.
And they fucked you over somehow. But people who are actually willing to break through the wall, those are the people you want in your life. Because those are the people that are going to stick by you. Those are going to be the people that will stand with you.
Yeah.
And I'm a lot of things. I'm known for making bad decisions, clearly. Yeah. But I'm a loyal person. And I think that is my best quality. It doesn't matter if haven't talked for years, Or we talked yesterday. You need help? I'm going to be right there. Who I am isn't defined by the one mistake, no matter how big it is. I am defined by my characteristics and who I am and what I believe.
And for a filthy heathen, he's pretty cool. Sorry that got quite a bit heavy. It wasn't planned, but the best things in life usually aren't planned, like abortions.
Or my birth.
Yeah.
I popped out of the womb and my mom was just like, fuck!
So we're at an hour and a half.
Seriously?
I think that was a pretty good episode.
I hope you know we'll be risking some subscribers uploading this.
That's fine.
I just, I'm okay with it. Well, I don't want it to happen, but I just want you to understand that there could be repercussions.
That's okay.
Okay.
I have not done this podcast for monetary reasons since we started. Because at first I was like, oh, we're going to get a lot of subscribers, we're going to make money. But as time has gone on, I'm like, this is just fun. It's just...
I just love entertaining people.
It's just a fun thing to do. If we ever make it big, that's cool. If not, then
that's cool too.
It's not a giant deal.
Although I will say, I think we are going to go somewhere.
I think so. Sooner or later.
Just judging by how everything... I mean, we just had our 1 year mark.
Yeah.
Look where we are. Brand new PC.
Yeah.
Cameras.
It is pretty cool.
Backup camera galore.
Yeah. And backup mics.
4 mic arms, 2 desks. The ability to record pretty much anything we want.
Yeah.
In such a short time.
When I started doing YouTube when I was 16 or 17, I never dreamed that I would even have a setup like this.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think the first thing I want to do is upgrade the RAM in that.
The RAM?
Yes. You said it has 12.
Yeah. I would have said the cooling system. Because it's already pretty warm.
Well, you also got to remember that the healthy computer temperature is 99 to 100 degrees, somewhere in there.
Is it really?
Yes. Internally.
I didn't know that.
So, the casing, it's going to hold a lot more heat for longer. Mm-hmm. It's not actually hot. It just seems that way because of the casing and how it holds heat and everything like that. So,
okay.
Little fun tidbit for you there.
But hey, I mean, RAM and the power source are probably going to be the cheapest components, no? Well, I mean the case too, but
I mean, depending how you go about it. Mm-hmm. Cooling can also be very cheap. I don't think it's big enough to... No, it's definitely not. And honestly, it wouldn't warrant a liquid-cooled system. But
I want a liquid-cooled system so I can put ranch in it.
The sad part is I think that might work.
No, it won't. There's... if I remember correctly, there's a YouTube channel that specifically puts various liquids in their cooling system of their PC to see if it works or not.
Really?
Yeah, the worst one that I've seen is peanut butter.
Did it catch fire?
No, they had to like get like a pressure washer to get all the peanut butter out because it kind of got crusty and kind of hardened in the tubes and stuff. And yeah,
You'll have to show me that sometime. That is intriguing.
okay.
I didn't know people did that.
Nacho cheese cooling system. Slap a Chester Cheetah logo on it and say it's dangerously cheesy.
Sponsored by Cheetos.
Yeah. Nacho cheese cooling system. Anyway, we are
Stupid.
on our way out. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of the Taboo Tater Tots Club podcast. Check out all of the links in the description. I forgot to put them on screen. Well, that'll be there next time.
Yes, we literally, you got the computer today.
Yes.
And we spent like 2 hours trying to get everything set up again.
Yes, we usually end around like 6 or 7 o'clock. It is 8 o'clock.
Is it really?
Yes. It's just past 8 o'clock.
It's past my bedtime. My mom's going to be mad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, check out the
Redbubble. Check out the
yes.
the artist's thing.
Yes.
Twitter.
Our Twitter, the artist's Instagram.
Oh. Yes,
all the links in the description. Yada yada yada. We're out.
I guess. Ow.
Bye. He was pointing it right in my head. He was like, "Drive, motherfucker." Hello, Morgan. How are you?
I have AIDS in my nose.
I found that is not a good thing. Where to? Oh, there's the thing.
I got abused!
Yeah.
It's gonna have
Let's-
more cuts than the emo kid in school.
How long have you been black? As I turn off the key and open the door, all I hear is, "Stay in the car!" And I'm like, "I fucking hate you! Oh my god!" Oh. Very cool.
Hey, that was a boom. That was a boomstick. Grandma's gonna be mad at you.
Fucking what?
And then got 2 scoops of ice cream.